What is the crack, everyone? B2B Sports. We are back. Sam is here
As
as
always.
always. Yeah. Let's start with a bit of football because it was FA Cup weekend this past weekend. And to be fair, the games are crackers, mate. The games are
They were
absolute
all good.
bangers. Let's start with Man United for Liverpool 3. Take it away, Sam. Can you believe it, mate?
I don't know if I can. I mean, whole game. I mean, I suppose we scored early, which was a surprise
Yep.
in itself. And we were on top. I can't believe I'm saying it, but we were on top for that first half for long periods, had lots of chances. Um, and then we concede two very quick goals, which is, I mean, it's hard to say I was surprised. It seemed typical at the time. A couple from like mistakes of our own. I don't know why Banana's saving the ball into the middle of the box rather than trying to punch it somewhere. It's
Classic Onana, mate.
that was frustrating. That was frustrating. And then they were on top for the majority of the game for the second half. Didn't really get a look in, and then just after the 75th minute, it seemed that we were getting back into it and sending people forward. And like Anthony scores cracking goal. I don't know how he scores that.
Go on, Anthony. Jesus.
Basically, he gets his like second goal of the season, which is can't come at a better time. Um, and then Rashford has like four chances in a row to score, misses all of them, which was very frustrating. But no, extra time seemed to be we were on top of the whole of extra time, pretty much except from their goal. It was all United. It was one way traffic, and then they had a couple of obviously had a few chances in extra time, like the 5-on-1, which for some reason three of them stopped running, and then we managed to. I don't know how they didn't score then. When they did score, a bit of a unlucky deflection, but again, if you don't shoot, you don't score. But
Yeah.
yeah, we were on top for the majority. Rashford having quite a few chances to score, and unfortunately not. Maguire making these runs. Maguire was great up front.
Go on, Maguire.
It was one ball over the top that he ran through, got a through ball. It looked like he was a striker, and then he passed it, and then forgot that he's can't pass. So he kind of just kicked up in the air, which was great. The run looked good, but yeah, the finished product wasn't there. And then just comes on, and then through ball to Rashford. Had to be Rashford after missing like four good chances. Slots into the bottom corner and just goes wild, and absolutely love that. And then I think Liverpool just were negative throughout the rest of the game. We only had two defenders on the pitch at the end of the at the end of extra time, and we just balls over the top, running down the rings. Seemed to be all we did, and that's all we had to do.
Classic United.
Yeah, honestly, from the corner, that was a classic. I've not seen us counter attack like that for a while. Bit of a P roller. I didn't know if that was going in. It was the fact that it hit the post and went in. It was great. Yeah, I went mad after that. It was just insane. What a game! I think United actually fully deserved to win as well. I don't think Liverpool played better, but United just had probably our best game of the season, really, against a good Liverpool team. And to be fair, I did find it stupid that Diallo took his shirt off. As soon as he did it, I was like, well, he's getting sent off instantly. I'm like, what's the point?
You got to say.
So yeah, but no,
why do you think
absolutely insane.
Why do you think that is? Like, what is it about taking your shirt off? Like, why? Why is this?
I can't remember why.
I've
I
always
can't remember
thought,
when they brought the rule in, because it never used to be a rule in terms of like Diego Forlan scored a screamer and took his shirt off and then couldn't get it back on for like
yeah, it was
5
like
minutes.
running around the pitch, weren't it? With
He
his
was running
shirt.
around shirtless. So I don't know if they brought it around because of that, but no, I don't know.
But what, like,
But
what?
but
When
you
you
think,
score though, when you score,
what's the point?
yeah, why is you've just scored? You've just took Man United through to the semi-final against one of your like biggest rivals. What? Why is the first thought in your head? I'm going to take my shirt off. Like, why
But
not?
also he took it off, lifted it up, and showed his name and number. I'm like, but that's still on your back. Just turn around, mate. Just
Yeah.
turn around and point at it. Just do a bit of this, a bit of that. Thumbs back and just pointing to the back of the shirt. That's all you need to do. It seemed a bit excessive.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I don't
fair
see why
play.
it needs to be that people need to celebrate like that. I find it stupid when you know it's going to be a yellow card.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous. But
I mean, we're
and
we're
then
talking from sort of armchair watchers here. We've never ever been in that scenario where we've scored a goal at Old Trafford. So we don't know how we'd react, mate.
no, I don't know. It's a bit different playing like scoring a brace against Napton or something like in Sunday League. That is a bit different. But no, it's I find it weird. But yeah, great win. And then I absolutely called the draw.
You did call the
Draw
draw.
was coming through, and I was like, just need number two, get Coventry. We'll lose to Coventry now, but at least we got it.
Well, it
Um,
could be set up for another derby final, really, couldn't it? If
yeah,
Man City. Well, hang on. Chelsea going to beat City? I don't know what you're on about, mate.
I mean, you very much nearly didn't beat Leicester.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mad game as well. Chelsea beat Leicester 4-2 in the end, but the scoreline didn't really reflect what happened. That game was again like many Chelsea games this year, just bonkers. Nothing really makes
Yeah,
sense. You had the Disasi own goal, which was did you see it?
what a
Where
finish!
what a finish
What a finish!
with his left peg. I don't know where
That the vision, the
the
vision,
vision.
just
Robert Sanchez was nowhere to be seen, and yeah, he just hoofed it into the back of his own net. And then Raheem Sterling drops another stinker. I mean, that free
poor.
kick attempt was horrendous. Like,
I mean, you have a go at Ronaldo for all his free kicks and stuff, but that was like worse, well worse.
I'm really disappointed in Sterling to be honest. He pops up every so often. You know, he's had a good couple of performances against City. When Chelsea have needed him in that sort of big experienced player role. But on the whole, his Chelsea career has been very inconsistent in
Yeah,
comparison to the level he can play at. Yeah, it was just, he's a little bit selfish at times as well. I mean, he's been completely outshone by another Man City arrival, Cole Palmer.
yeah.
So I am disappointed in Sterling. He's got Premier League experience. I think he's only like late 20s. I think he's pretty much, around the same age as us.
Mm,
And you just expect him to be putting in better performances like that, don't you?
yeah, missing a pen as well.
Missing a pen, yeah, that pen was woeful.
Why he took the pen, nobody knows.
I mean, Cole Palmer's got a great goal scoring record with penalties this year, so I don't
Yeah,
know
he
what
scored all
happened.
all he scores is penalties.
Exactly. So, I mean, it was a strange one. I don't think he'd be on pens again, to be honest. But in the end, Chelsea got the job done. I think the Leicester red card helped them out a little bit. Um,
I think it's an iffy red card at the end of
you
the day.
think?
How much did he actually touch him? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where it's the law of the game, isn't it? If your last
I
man
think like I think if
behind,
he's
that's
if
it.
he's if he's tackled him and he was the last man, so I think that is a red card. But on the slow mo replay, it doesn't look like he actually touched him.
It was very minimal contact
Yeah,
to say the least. I mean,
so,
I'm a Chelsea fan.
tough.
I'll take it all day long. But if it was against me, it'll be soft when
It
it's
was
one of
it
those.
was harsh on Leicester.
It's one of those where it's going to be a red, but it shouldn't probably be a
Yeah,
red. It's like, oh God. But yeah, that pretty much killed the game. Really, they were sort of stayed in it, Leicester, and then we got two goals towards the end. I mean the Carney Chukwuemeka goal was great. The build up was great. Cole Palmer with the little flick off to him, and
yeah.
then the Madueke goal as well was good. So it's
That
good
was
to
a
have these
cracking goal.
performances. Yeah, it's good to have these performances off the bench, but
Yeah,
it's our own mistakes. Nearly paying the price. But
yeah.
yeah, Chelsea are through to we're going to Wembley again, so I'll take that considering the awful season that we've got. But we do have Man City. We have
Yeah.
drawn to City twice this year, So it'll be interesting. That 4-4 game was great, and then we also drew 1-1 as well. But Man City are a different beast, so we'll see.
Yeah, City are favourites for the whole thing, obviously. But yeah, if you can do us a favour and beat them, I'm happy for a United Chelsea final.
I
I'll
mean,
take it.
that's going to be drab.
It will be. Every single final we ever play is the worst final ever, except ever since the Champions League final
Ever since that.
is it's just never lived up to it. It's always been boring. But
But the
no, but I'll take it.
Yeah, the other quarterfinal was a great game as well. Wolves Coventry. I caught a bit of that on ITV. Ali McCoist was commentating on that, and yeah, Coventry came back and scored another last minute sort of goal. Fair play to them.
Two.
Two last
Scored
minute
two.
goals, was it?
They were 2-1 down in the 96th minute.
Um, hang on.
Scored two goals.
Doing it for the championship, knocking out a Premier League side in Wolves. Fair play to them.
Yeah.
Could be a tough game for you lot, mate. Tough game. You have to turn up.
It probably will be. I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie. It's not a given at this point in time. I've just got my fingers crossed at the end of the day. I'll take an FA Cup final.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously got there last year as well. And to be fair, the FA Cup final we played last year was actually pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, try not to concede in the first minute again, um, but we'll go. We'll build from there.
Staying on the Man United theme, Kobe Mainu has got a call up to the England squad. I have to hold my hands up. People have been raving about him on socials. I haven't really watched much United this year, so I actually don't know how much of a baller he is really. But people are calling for him to be in the Euro squad, in the first team Euro squad alongside
Yeah,
Declan Rice. So
I think he's at the moment he's balling out in this United team. He's playing really well, playing really good attacking football. Also being quite good in kind of a CDM role as well a bit. So he's good at coming forward, good at staying in defence. He's playing really well in a tough position at United at the
yeah,
moment.
yeah, definitely.
And yeah, I think fair enough. It's the first teenager that Southgate has ever picked for the squad.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's more of the same because we've got a good lot of good teenagers. So
How old is he? He's like 18, isn't he? Something like that.
18, 19, something like that.
I mean, when you
So
look at our team on paper, we should be favourites, really.
I think we probably are when it comes around to it.
Mad
But
to say.
yeah, that England team is insane, and everyone says like, oh yeah, people put up like what's beating this year. Everyone puts like Gareth Southgate. I'm like, he's been our best manager in years. Like, stop shitting on him. Like,
Yeah,
I understand.
this,
I
this,
understand.
this will be the real
I'm
test.
annoyed with him. This would be a real test, yeah. Because if we go in as favourites and don't deliver, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's fair for him to be. But if we get to like a semi-final, there's not much you can obviously say like well, we should be winning these things, but in a knockout, anything can happen. I feel like if we were play if the whole Euros was like a round robin, we'd do really well.
Yeah.
But because knockouts, it's just random shit can happen. So I think semi-finals is a great place for us to be. I think we should be getting to semi-finals at the end of the day. But yeah, I think this will be his final real test. If we don't get to the semis or anything like that, and he does get sacked, I think that is more fair. And then United apparently want him, so
I,
I'll
s- I
take it.
did see that. Yeah, I did see that. The new Ineos big bosses want him to succeed Eric Ten Hag if Eric Ten
Yeah.
Hag sort of drops off. So that'll be interesting.
Mm.
That'll be interesting.
I wouldn't be against it. I would not be against it. I
Have you
think he's a
seen
good
how
manager.
have you seen how much the England kits are? I've
Oh, stupid.
got 120 quid for an England
Mm.
kit. What is going on?
Like no, what if you pay that? That's just stupid.
It's stupid. I mean,
Just buy an England kit, like the England kit you got in the back there, that retro one.
yeah, the retro one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I thought NFL jerseys are expensive. They're like pushing 100 quid at times. But, you used to, back in the day, you used to buy a football kit for about 40, 50 quid. Now it's
Exactly. Yeah,
120 quid. I mean,
it's
come on.
just not feasible.
It's a nice kit, though. Don't get me wrong. It is a nice kit. I do
Mm.
like it for the Euros. Um, but yeah, not that much. Not that much.
No, God no.
And in terms of kits, actually, we're staying on this theme because I saw a thing on X about which kit maker makes the best kits overall internationally. So Nike or Adidas. Are you a Nike fanboy or an
Oh,
Adidas fanboy? Because I looked at that,
that's
I went,
really tough.
automatically Adidas like straight away. But then I was thinking there's a couple of nice Nike kits out there. But I think I'm more Adidas in terms of
I
instant.
think I'm probably more Adidas. Like I prefer. I think the Germany kits are always good.
Mhm.
Always like a Germany kit, but then like the Netherlands Nike kit is always quite nice.
You like an
So
orange kit.
it's tough.
Love an
I like
orange.
an orange kit. I might be biased just because the orange kit, to be fair, but that's a tough question. Actually. I think I would have to go Adidas, but there are plenty of Nike kits that I'd be like, yeah, I'd have that.
Yeah. The quarterfinals of the Champions League was drawn in the week. Massive ties here, mate. Massive
Yeah,
ties. Well, Arsenal got Bayern
again,
again.
revenge tour, but also like Harry Kane scored all his goals against Arsenal. So
Yeah. I mean, he loves it. I mean, there's a stat up here. Harry Kane, he's got 40 goal contributions this year for Bayern, 26 goals in 26 games, sorry. So 31 goals and 9 assists. Like
yeah,
mental,
that's ridiculous.
mental. And Arsenal have been known to slip up once or twice against Bayern in the Champions League. So that'll be interesting.
The last three games, they've lost 5-1 in all of them.
Brutal, absolutely brutal. Then you've got City, Real Madrid, blockbuster tie.
Rematch.
Very much. Oh, who do you reckon? Who do you reckon?
I have to say, I think City probably.
Um,
Although Madrid had a great run at the moment in the Liga,
yeah, they,
playing really well, but yeah, I think I would put. I don't know. I think City. I think
yeah,
City at the moment have the more kind of complete team,
true,
the best team in the world, unfortunately.
yeah. Sorry. I
I think they're the best team in the world at the moment,
need,
unfortunately,
need to
and
clip
it's really
that.
annoying to say, but they are the team to beat in everything.
The treble is still on. Sorry, the treble is
Yeah.
still on. Back-to-back treble is unreal. Absolutely unreal. What are the other ties in Champions League quarters? Can't remember them.
Liverpool. No, Liverpool. Sorry, they're in the Europa League.
Just a little mugging
Fair.
off.
Sorry about that, guys. Um, so we've got Barcelona, PSG.
Oh, Barca pitch a few years back, that would have been great tie. Great tie. But
Well, I remember when we used to do our Champions League nights, Champions Leagues and Dominoes nights. We watched the PSG Barca game where Barca came from like
yeah,
4-0 down in the first leg and then won 6
something
3 or something
yeah.
mental. And then Atletico Dortmund.
Atletico Dortmund, probably the deadest tie out of the lot, but it's still a good competitive game.
Probably, but I mean, they're all kind of bangers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all competitive. Do you know what I mean? I think it's going to be an even match across the board. I think PSG will edge Barca. I think they're probably more favourites out of the lot. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, great ties, great ties.
really good ties. I'm trying to think who, because I know they do the draw for kind of who plays who from the semi-final to the semi-finals.
What's it saying?
So the winner of Arsenal versus Bayern will play Real Madrid or City. And
Yeah,
then Barca PSG will play either Dortmund or Madrid
that is the
in the
weakest side of the
semis.
draw.
It is. It
That
is.
is the weakest side
PSG have probably their best opportunity to
to
get
win.
to
Can you
a
imagine
win again.
after all them years of just desperately trying to win it and pumping in all that money. Imagine it could be the
Last
last
year with
season with the
Mbappe.
last season with
Yeah,
Mbappe. He's gone. Uh,
that'd be mental.
that would be crazy. But yeah, that's Champions League. FPL. Let's talk a bit about FPL because I had a shocker this week, mate.
I got away with it this week.
You and Ben got away with it big time. I can't
Honestly,
believe it.
managed to still get 21 points.
Honest, how many players did you have playing? What, like
I
five,
had
six?
I don't even know if there was that many. One, two, three, yeah, six in the
Six
end.
players. I played.
Six players.
I thought ahead of the game. I was like, I've got a free wild card, right? So if I keep all my key players on the bench that I wanna, I wanna keep for the following week, I'll make a
Hmm.
wild card with full of starting 11 of teams that are only playing in this game week, and I can
Yeah,
get ahead of the game. But every single player just dropped a stink. I think I
yeah.
got like 30 odd points in the end from a full
You
11.
got 35,
Oh
which
man,
isn't too late. But the fact that I'm only 14 points off, and I didn't, and only six of them played. I'm quite
yeah,
happy with that. I'm still quite far off you again, but I don't feel as bad about making this up in the next 10 weeks. But
yeah. I mean,
we're both well off the others.
we're well off, yeah. I mean, we've both still got triple captain chips left to play. I think there'll be key weeks when to play them, but
Yeah,
it's a tall order. There's only 9 games left, I think. Only 9 game weeks left. I think the cup should start soon as well. So
do they? Oh
yeah,
Jesus!
the cup should start very soon.
Yeah,
If not so already. So that'll be something to keep our eye on as well. But yeah, absolute stinker. I think a lot of people had stinkers this week that were in the same mindset as me.
yeah,
Um, but anyway, I've managed to I had quite a lot of money left over, so I managed to get salary in for this upcoming week as well. Um,
nice.
so I minus forward it, and I got Cole Palmer in as well. So them are two changes, and I brought back the City lot. The City boys are coming back in from the bench, so
Yeah, it's
I've
just
not been.
City's so hard to just because of Pep.
It's so hard, so hard.
Mm.
I mean, ever since I've brought Foden in, he's started it pretty much every single game. But who's to say the Pep would just take him next game? I don't know. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much FPL. I do have to mention as well. Have you heard of the soccer aid lineups?
No,
So it's at Stamford Bridge, and the
Havertz is playing, isn't he? No,
Hazard, Hazard,
Hazard, that's the one.
Hazard is back at Stamford Bridge. I am buzzing, mate. I'm buzzing. I can't wait.
He's playing more football since retiring than he has in the last few years.
Literally, he's playing all these charity games and everything. But yeah, I'm well excited for that. I think Stuart Broad's playing as well, Sam.
Yeah,
Um, I think Sam Thompson, the guy who won I'm a Celeb, is playing. Frank Lampard's manager, apparently, against Pochettino, I think. So that would be like, it's like an all Chelsea affair at the minute. Uh,
Jesus, yeah, that's a bit mad.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It should be quite good. I think that's in June.
Why soccer aid at Stamford Bridge? It's an Old Trafford staple.
I don't
Just
know.
downgrading,
I don't know because they did
getting
that.
less people in the stands. What's going on?
They did that game for. There was a charity game last year where it was like stand up for Ukraine or something like that.
Hmm.
And it was a game to raise money for the funds and the war in Ukraine. So maybe they just thought that was a good hosting event there, and it worked with the schedules and that.
Maybe,
Um,
yeah.
but in terms of if you look at the two stadiums, yes, Old Trafford holds more. Um,
Way more.
Way more. I think Tottenham would probably be the best stadium to host it at, to be fair,
It's true, yeah.
facilities and that. But yeah. Um, and then to wrap it up, Nottingham Forest have been given a 4 points point deduction, and they're
Yeah.
now in the relegation zone, only by 1 point. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, thoughts on that? Inevitable or fair, or what do you think?
I don't know what's fair at this point, to be honest. Obviously, Everton been given their 10 point and then reduced to six. Now, not Forest getting it, but it seems to be just the clubs in the relegation battle that seem to be getting charged. And actually, what is happening with the City stuff? Like, when will we ever find out?
I mean, people are saying on socials that Everton and Nottingham Forest they only had one or a couple of
Yeah,
charges, so it's a lot easier to
process it.
go through it to process and charge them, whereas City have got 100 odd. But like, come on, like it gets to a point where how long do you need on cities? Because this City thing has been going on for ages, and even the Chelsea one as well. I mean, Chelsea getting looked into as well. So Chelsea
Yeah.
took a point. So I do kind of get where these
We're all
clubs are.
corrupt.
It's all yeah, we ain't gonna get relegated anytime soon. Clip this in like 3 months' time. Relegated, 30-point deduction.
It's probably a bit easier for you to get relegated than City
Yeah, true that.
at this point.
Um, but yeah, it does seem a little bit unfair from the outset, and I do think that a charge is coming for probably City and Chelsea, but what that charge will be and when that charge will be is another question.
Who knows?
Um, but yeah, it's tough. Do you reckon Nottingham Forest can stay up, or do you reckon
I
they're
think
in
so. Yeah.
danger now? Uh,
I think they can stay up. I think Luton is still probably the most in danger. I know they've kind of skipped, hopped above Nottingham Forest at the moment, but I think Forest can really turn it on in games. So I think it'll be tight between them two,
yeah,
Luton and Forest. To be honest, I think Sheffield is probably a lost cause at this point.
yeah, they're done for, absolutely done for. But yeah, that wraps up football. We'll move on to NFL because it's the off season, but the off season has been pretty exciting, especially for our two clubs at the minute.
It's not been that exciting for us.
you've
Nothing's really happened.
you've acquired some pieces, but you're looking forward to the draft, right?
Yeah,
That's where it's really gonna sort of ramp up for you
yeah.
lot. I mean,
I think at the moment with him saying that we're going to be getting some offensive people in, and then this whole free agency, there was a lot of offensive players that were available, and none of them picked up by us, so that was good. So a bit disappointed with that, but yeah, draft is where it's at, and I think at this point it looks like we're going to go for quarterback.
well, it looks like our two teams are going for a quarterback, potentially battling it out for one or two quarterbacks. I think if the Vikings have now picked up the 11th and the 23rd pick, so I think that well, it's a big rumor that they're going to make a trade towards the draft day, probably with the Cardinals to trade up to get maybe a third rounder, a fourth round, or a fifth round pick. And where are you? What's your pick that you?
We're third pick in the
Yeah.
draft,
So yeah, it's going to be pretty close. Pretty
because we're
close.
going to draft Drake Maye.
Mate, that's the quarterback I want, man. That's the
I know.
quarterback I want. Mate, he's a big
Should have
tool.
done should have done worse last season. Should have re-signed Kirk Cousins.
Oh, mate,
What
let's
is
talk
that?
about Kirk, man. What? Oh, mate, I'm disappointed with him. I am disappointed with him. I'm gonna retire a Viking, and then look what happens. Um, he obviously
Should have
wants.
known when he says that everywhere he goes.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, 4-year deal. He's got the bag. He's got that money. Um, and yeah, he's a Falcon. I'm a bit gutted that he just left like that, but he's what it
Yeah,
is.
to be honest, a 4-year deal is mad.
Mad for a guy that's like what 35, 36, coming off
Yeah,
an Achilles injury as well. You
yeah,
know,
like that is mad. I mean, I don't know how you can say no to that offer. To be fair, like at his point, is like, yeah, it's 4 years. There's a lot guaranteed. Like, so if it just turns out that I can't play, I've signed a contract and there's a lot guaranteed. So I'm getting paid no matter what.
I mean, fair play to
Um,
the Vikings ownership as well. I think they had a price tag in mind, and if Kirk wasn't going to agree to that, then it was see you later. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because there were a lot
it's
of
ballsy when you don't have a backup.
there are a lot of positions. Well, we didn't have a lot of cap space, so with Kirk
No,
going now, we've freed up quite a bit of cap space. And yes, it's left us vulnerable. We've got Sam Darnold, and that's all at the minute, unless we trade up, which I think we
unless you
will.
trade up. But
I
to be
think,
fair, you might still be able to get is it McCarthy?
yeah, if we trade up, I think McCarthy
AJ.
is the guy that the biggest rumor at the minute. I think Caleb Williams it will go one. Drake May is going to go two or three. It'll be a miracle, I think, if he dips into the four into to pick four.
Yeah.
So I think JJ McCarthy is a decent option. I think you've got Bo
Mm,
Nix as well. He's a good quarterback up there.
yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting, man. Like I've never really experienced this properly going through NFL draft and picking up a quarterback. Do you know what I mean? It's never really
Yeah. No.
not not
I
in
think
my
like I mean
following anyway.
no. And like in terms of since I've been following Patriots, obviously in the last 20 years we've had a great quarterback. So in terms of drafting a quarterback, Mac Jones was the first, and then we got him at 15, I think, in the draft, and that was it was a good thing, and he was good for a time being. But yeah, it's odd. Have a bit of respect for those places that draft a QB and it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Is it like the Browns who can't draft to save their life except for Myles Garrett? But yeah, so it'll be interesting, and I hope it does pay off.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, and obviously we'll keep you updated on that on who the both clubs pick. Staying on the quarterback theme, the Steelers are blowing my mind. So have traded for Justin Fields this past week,
Yep.
whilst also having claimed Russell Wilson. That's bonkers. Russell
Yeah,
Wilson's going to be the starter, supposedly. I know it's early days and things can change, but to have Justin Fields just sat as a backup is nuts.
very odd. I think, I mean, it could build a really good QB room in terms of Russell Wilson is probably, unfortunately, probably going kind of towards the end of his career. And Justin Fields is at the beginning, is it in a Browns team where he's meant to be the leader, but hasn't had anyone above, like, they've
Bears,
not had a,
Bears team, yeah.
yeah, what did I say?
You said Browns.
I remember, yeah, Bears. So yeah, the Bears, they haven't really had a QB. Is it right that they've not had a QB throw over like 3,000 yards ever?
Yeah,
And so I think him backing up Russell Wilson will be really good for him. And I think that's probably the way it's been kind of advertised to him in terms of getting traded. And like it's a new start for him.
new
The
start.
Steelers are kind of, they don't know where they are at the moment in terms of their QB. They need to get rid of Kenny Pickett's probably a good thing.
They always just seem to make the playoffs as well, the Steelers. Like they just seem to
Yeah, they
always
do.
go into the radar, have like an okay season, make the playoffs, maybe
Losing
win.
the first round.
Yeah, losing the first round or go one and done, and that's it. Like they'll
Yeah,
get to go again. And Mike
yeah,
Tomlin just seems to stay there for and ever and ever and ever. And he just, he seems to do a good enough job to keep him in the role. So
yeah. And to be fair, I think if you've got a coach that gets you into the playoffs every year, it's not a bad thing.
exactly
Probably should do better in the playoffs, but again, at the end of the
that.
day,
Yeah,
get into the playoffs is still more important than not making the playoffs for
true.
however long.
Big news also this week. Aaron Donald retires, man.
Yeah,
There'll be a lot of quarterbacks in the league breathing a sigh of relief at the fact he's retired. I think he's only, what, 32, 33. I don't think
yeah,
he's that old for an NFL player
not
in
at
his
all.
position. But yeah, one of the greatest, would you say?
Yeah, oh, 100%. I still think TJ Watt should have won Defensive Player of the Year for when Aaron Donald won his third Defensive Player of the Year. But yeah, I think he's awesome. He's changed the game in a way and just unguardable, except from in the Super Bowl where the
Mm.
Patriots could guard him then. Just put that out there. But
Gotta throw that out
yeah,
there.
not a massively defensive game. But no, it'll be a bit weird without him. I think the rounds will be very different without him. Yeah, it could be strange. It's really odd when like a big player retires. Like you could understand that obviously Jason Kelsey retired. You
Mm.
saw that coming. Didn't really
Yeah,
see Aaron Donald retiring.
yeah. It's true. I mean, the NFL sort of going back to sort of the changes in lineup and stuff. The NFL is fascinating in the off season because it changes so much compared to
Mm,
football. Football, might get the odd big transfer, but in terms of NFL, there's so many big pieces that move in free agency. Like Saquon Barkley's just gone to the Eagles. Like
yeah,
that's mad. King Henry is off. Do you know what I mean? To the Ravens. Like it's just things going to look completely different next year. It's mind
yeah.
boggling. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
I think I think Henry to the Ravens is big. Like, they're one of the best rushing teams in the whole league, and the
Exactly.
fact that they've added him to the already really good rushing team is
Exactly.
insane.
Got the best rushing quarterback, and you've got bringing King Henry as well. nuts, absolutely nuts. I don't know if you saw this week that apparently there's going to be a new Netflix show called Receiver.
Mm.
That is sort of, I don't know if it's connected to the quarterback franchise or if it's something completely different, but it's going
I
to
think it's made
feature.
by the same people, but
Is it by the same people?
I think so.
I think it's going to feature Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm well up for that. I'm well up for that.
Yeah,
Did you
I
watch
didn't.
the?
I didn't watch quarterback, so
Oh, good mate. You should watch.
um, I need to watch it. But yeah, I don't know if I'm not interested at the moment. I just haven't really gotten into it.
Yeah, you should watch it though. It's good. It is really good.
Yeah,
Although it's the Patrick Mahomes show. The
yeah.
Kirk Cousins bits are quite good. Does make you respect him and like him even more. Uh, and then you had
Until now,
until now, yeah. And then you had the Falcons quarterback. Who was it? Marcus Mariota. That's it. His bits were a bit
that's a
quiet,
good one.
a bit dead, but I think it's just purely because Atlanta didn't really do a lot in that season that they were
Mm.
featured. But yeah. Did you have you watched the Dynasty? Have you been keeping up with that? Watched many
No, I
episodes?
keep forgetting about it. But it's got a lot of kind of hate at the moment in terms of the way it's depicting Bill Belichick.
Really? Why is that?
A lot of people saying like it's basically painting him out as being like going against Robert Kraft and just being a bit, I don't know. And some players have come out and said like Bill Belichick is the reason we were great.
Mhm.
Whereas it doesn't really sh show it in that light, and it shows Bill as not this great coach. So that's a kind of a reason I haven't kept on watching it because I feel like that's probably a bit disrespectful. But I need to watch some more.
Yeah,
But it's good. Like the first two episodes were really good, and I really enjoyed them. But yeah, I think a lot of people have said it's painted them in a bit of a weird light.
yeah. That's probably why I saw Julian Edelman come out on his podcast and say just bigging up Bill Belichick,
Mm,
saying he's the greatest coach of all time because probably didn't get the recognition in that series,
yeah,
which is mad because can't imagine Bill Belichick is he's a guy that wants to do these all these media things.
yeah,
He's probably just wants to do his job and that's that. So to get him to
yeah, and that's what he's ever done.
as well, he's done him dirty probably a little bit. Um,
Seems like it. I think at near the end, like obviously they were having disagreements, especially over Tom Brady and being like Bill Belichick said Tom Brady was past it, and he obviously wasn't. So yeah, I think there's always going to be some bad blood at some point. It can't all be fairy tales forever. So there's always going to be that. But yeah, it was nice while it lasted. Just hope Drake May is
I
the next
mean,
big thing.
yeah, he's got Brady's build. He's quite tall, apparently, tall quarterback,
Mm,
sling it, can run as well. So yeah, I mean, I'll be a bit jealous if you pick him up. I can't lie. I can't lie. He's
I
the
can't
guy.
wait. I mean, we don't have any weapons for him to throw it to, except from we
What?
picked up a Vikings player,
Oh, you picked up not Addison. You picked up KJ Osborne. That's who you picked up.
KJ Osborne. That's the one.
Osborne, yeah.
So that's our signing so far. And
Yeah.
we signed Hunter Henry to like a 3-year deal as well, which is good. He's a good tight end.
Mhm.
So yeah, we shall see.
You'll be all right.
Yeah,
F1, same old, really. In this new season, Bahrain was won by Max Verstappen. Jeddah was won by Max Verstappen. Australia's up next, probably going to be won by
one
Max.
by Max Verstappen.
That is this weekend. I think he's on at some silly time, like 4 a.m. in the morning or something like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, pretty much it. Red Bull are dominating again. It sort of kills the hope of exciting season, doesn't it? Really.
I think at this point, to be honest, everyone's just waiting for next season.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone's just waiting for Hamilton at Ferrari. Do you know what I
I
mean?
think so. I don't think there's much. I think with them announcing that, it's kind of dead in the water for this season. Everyone thought Max Verstappen was going to run away with it. He currently is again. Yeah, you can't really. It's just no excitement for it. I
I
think
mean,
I think it was great to have was it Ollie Beerman
yeah. I was gonna
in,
say
in, in the
there's been little
in the Ferrari.
subplots which have been good so far, and yeah, Ollie
Yeah,
Bear was one.
I think he was great. And him getting points and being at that Ferrari was awesome.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, apart from that, yeah, Max seems like he's going to run away with it.
I mean,
Just crazy.
it is crazy. I mean, he's doing it with ease as well. That's the scary thing.
Mm,
Like, it's not even, he's just out on on his own. Like, the only chance that anyone has overtaken him is in that first corner. And if he maintains the lead in that first corner, he's gone. Literally, well and
yeah,
truly gone.
yeah,
Um,
and I've always felt that Max's starts aren't always amazing. There's one place you can probably get him quite early on, but yeah, it with Australia, it's a slow right hand into a sharp left and then right. So he's kind of got the best line into that corner.
mhm,
If he gets on pole,
mhm.
so it's difficult. I don't see him losing it this weekend.
What do you think it is? Do you think it is in terms of percentage? Do you think it's say 40% max, 60% car, or do you think it's sort of 70% max, 30% car? Because that there's no denying that car is out of this world. It's a rocket ship.
Yeah.
But also Max is incredible as well. Do you think
Well,
it's
he's light years ahead of Perez,
yeah, true.
which and I can't see their cars being insanely different.
Mm, in
I
terms of
can't see them being that much different, and I think Max is just on another level. I think it probably is maybe around the I don't know 60-40 that's Max, but I
mm,
think that if you put everyone in the same car Max is in, I still think he'd be going. Still think he'd be pole and
yeah.
winning in that car, just on his talent alone. So I don't think it's. I think just because of all these new regulations and stuff, and everyone's car is slightly different, that it helps build that narrative that the car's why you're winning because these other people can't build a car quite as good. Um, so it'd be nice to see them in more kind of similar cars,
Mhm.
but I do think a lot of it is Max. He is just phenomenal.
Absolutely unreal. I mean, it'll be interesting to see the fallout of this whole Christian Horner situation because there's been a lot of
Mm.
rumors that Max's dad is unhappy with the outcome so far, and whether that would trigger a move. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago there was a rumor that Max had joined Mercedes. I think that's a little bit far-fetched.
Yeah, I
But
think
it'll be
so.
interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Christian Horner leaves, will Adrian Newey leave? And Adrian Newey
I
is
know.
is the master behind this car. And I think there was a couple of rumors on socials today that he could be set to join Ferrari next year with Hamilton. I think again, I
That would
don't know
be
how true those rumors are, but
insane.
imagine
That would be amazing.
if you got the
I think
brain
look,
of Adrian Newey in that Ferrari with Hamilton
well, I
competing
think Lewis
against
Hamilton has said
Max. You know what I mean?
he's always wanted to work with Adrian Newey because he is an absolute genius. And I think in Max's contract, I think he's put it in that like if Newey was to leave, like he would be able to leave if he wanted to, because he's probably a major reason why that car is so good.
Yeah, yeah. Because it
But
just seems
I
like as
can't.
well. Sorry, mate, go
I was just
on.
saying I can't see Christian Horner going out down without a fight. So I don't think it'll be a quick resolve.
Absolutely not. Obviously, he was ruled. He's remaining in his job, and the woman who made the accusation has the right to appeal. And I don't know whether that is the case, but the whole thing seems off. It just seems
It
weird.
does.
It just seems,
And I think the main thing is that it doesn't seem out of character that this is something good that could have happened, which is unfortunate.
yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah.
Um, if you feel like that Christian Horn is that type of guy because he's a bit of a dick, and you can see it being very true. And yeah, I don't. It doesn't shine a good light on any of it really. Um,
No,
so I hope it's not true, but I also hope that if it is true, that it's dealt with
dealt
properly
with.
and he gets
Yeah,
reprimanded as he should.
exactly,
So
exactly.
that's the
Um,
hope.
but yeah, as we said, Australia this weekend. Ricardo and Oscar Piastri's home race. Um, just yeah, bit of excitement, please. Bit of
Yeah.
excitement, please. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up F1. Is there been any golf or tennis news this week? Anything?
Oh, Alcaraz came back, won Indian Wells.
Yep.
So Alcaraz is back in the winning circle. Retained his title. Absolutely battered Medvedev. Like I think it was like 7-5, 6-1.
Um,
Um, so yeah, doing really well there. In the women's, like Sabalenka has been through the absolute ringer. Her boyfriend recently passed away
damn,
suddenly.
jeez.
Ex ice hockey player, but it was quite sudden. I think the reports are like it's not suspicious. I think he took his own life, unfortunately. But like she's playing in Miami. I think maybe this weekend or next weekend. So I mean, I hope she's doing right. And I think getting back to tennis is something that might be something that helps her, and obviously like distraction and everything. But yeah, that's an absolute unreal thing to go through at any point in life. So in terms of golf, Scheffler won at the weekend, I think. Still being number one in the world, coming close to the Masters in
Yeah, I've
April.
just seen that Tiger's apparently playing. He's in the Masters.
Tiger's playing, which is good. Yeah, so not too much to shout about. Obviously, the ongoing talks with PGA and Live Tour going on.
That's still rumbling
As,
on.
as, yeah, I mean they've joined up now, so
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah, it's all a bit weird. Golf at the moment, nobody really knows whether it's working. The PGA tournaments don't seem to have. People say that they're not that talented now. Everyone in it, and it's like it's difficult. I think it's just a bit of a fractured state at the moment. Golf.
I'm sure it'll
Um,
figure itself out. It's almost like the Super League debate in football a couple of years
yeah,
ago. If you break off like that and then sort of try and get back together, I don't know, you're gonna have half players in one sort of league,
yeah,
you can have the other half in the other. So he's not gonna be as competitive, is it?
no,
All right, cricket. We'll do a little quick recap of the India England Test series, just a quick one. I think it was disappointing in the end.
very,
The whole started off so well, competitive, and then just completely dropped off a cliff. Batting collapses left, right, and centre. What are your thoughts, opinions, and where do you see England going forward? Do you think they're just gonna sort of this is a blip, it's just India, or do you think there's something more serious at play?
um, I think it being India and also playing in India does have an effect. I think the decisions need to be a bit better in positions where we have an advantage.
Hmm.
Every time it looked like we were going to get an advantage, we collapsed in some way. Either didn't get wickets or didn't get runs. So I think that needs to probably be looked at a bit more. But in terms of, it's difficult. I think bowling attacks are always going to be judged in India. In
Yeah.
terms of like our pace attack wasn't particularly great. Jimmy Anderson obviously gets his 700th wicket, but in terms of our pace, it was nothing like India's.
No.
Uh, Spin bowling was actually the highlight, I think, for England.
It was,
Finding some new spinners.
yeah, it was a pleasant
Um,
surprise, wasn't it? Considering
yeah,
these are debutantes, supposedly.
yeah, and that we've been so reliant on our pace attack for a while now, having kind of two spinners as well who are taking fifers, and it's quite refreshing. I know it's in India, which is kind of tends to go lean towards the spinners a bit more, but even then, debut tournaments and debut tests, I think it's quite.
Hmm.
It looks good for the future that we can have more for kind of a well-rounded attack rather than just
True.
um, our pace, which is our pace is normally really good, but
True.
yeah, it's good to have a bit more going for us.
True. I'll second that. Just a bit disappointing on the whole. Just thought it would be a little bit more competitive in the end. There was a lot of hype about Basball going into it, whether
Yeah,
Basball really can compete in India, and it sort of proved a lot of the doubt was right in the end, which was a shame.
Yeah,
But I'm sure Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum will go again, and I'm sure they'll be lighting up the cricket world in the summer. Obviously, the cricket season is not too far away now, only around the corner. I think it's next month. I think the
yeah,
County Championship starts around April time usually, so that'll be that. And I
yeah,
think the 100 draft was on around the past couple of days. Apparently, Jason Roy
yeah.
didn't get selected.
Jason Roy didn't get even picked, which is
Mad,
crazy.
mad, absolutely mad.
I don't understand. Yeah,
I don't understand that either. I don't get the 100 draft. I'm not 100% on the 100 just yet.
no,
Yeah. And that pretty much is it. To end it, Russ Cook is still running the length of Africa, and he's only
it's
got
got like
18 days left.
18 days, is it?
18 days left. Can you believe it? I really hope the national media really jumps onto his bandwagon in like the final week or two because
They've
it
got
still hasn't
to.
got enough coverage. It's still
No, it's going to be the man. There's going to be a documentary, and I'm sure they've been filming bits and to
yeah,
go in a doc. They have to have because it's such an insane thing to have done to not record it and not to have the media coverage is
yeah, absolutely.
ridiculous. And yeah, I think what he's done is I don't think they've really done again.
Absolutely not.
Um, and the obviously the hard thing being running the whole time, but also the politics and stuff he's had to
Exactly.
do on the way, and like it's dangerous
Flat out
in an
dangerous. Yeah.
instance, yeah. So yeah, 18 days and he's done an insane achievement.
That is mad. I think it kind of annoys me in a way because on BBC Radio 1, Molly King, who's Stuart Broad's
Yeah,
fiance, she rode 500 miles in 5 days, 500 kilometers in 5 days, and she raised over £1 million.
yeah,
And that's an amazing achievement. I'm not knocking her at all,
mm,
but what Russ Cook is doing is ridiculous. It's way bigger than a bigger physical challenge than what she did, and yet he's struggling to get 250,000,
yeah,
and she raised over 1 million in just 5 days. And I just feel that it needs a big pump of like media coverage or something
yeah.
because
I think that's the big thing because obviously with Molly King stuff, that was the radio. They were just going around in a car with her
absolutely, absolutely,
on
yeah,
the radio with her, and I think that helps. Um, like I said, what she did was amazing and incredibly hard as well. But he has done something that nobody's ever done,
exactly.
and it's the length of Africa that it's like one of the biggest continents in the whole world, and the harshness of that continent in general is also plays into it. Like it's, I don't think it would be an insane achievement. It'd be really, I think it'd be really weird for him to finish it, and
Not run.
I think there'll be media coverage, and I think you'll get, but there's nothing. You don't get anything from it.
From it. You literally
It's
have
just like you've done
a
this
personal
thing.
title, don't you? You have a personal
Yeah,
title, which you're the first person to ever do it. Yeah, he's mad. I think going back to the Molly King thing, I think obviously she had constant media coverage all day,
yeah,
whereas you're only seeing the odd tweet from Russ himself on socials. And I think, to be fair to him, he's running, so he doesn't know he doesn't have the time to communicate, but a lot of Molly's stuff was being pumped all day through your ears every single day on
yeah,
socials, whereas he just doesn't have that. But absolutely incredible, and it does. At one stage, I didn't think it was going to be possible, and it actually, with 18 days to go,
looking,
providing something catastrophic doesn't happen, touch wood. But he looks like he's going to do it, which is nuts,
yeah,
absolutely nuts. So
yeah. I think it'd be good to see like because obviously he's meant to be having a party
in
at
Tunisia.
the Northern Tip. He's like invited. Like, if anyone wants to come, just come. I hope people go
Yeah, I hope
because
people
that'd
run the
be
last like few miles with him or something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Imagine if it's a complete flop. Imagine if no one turns up.
I
Then
know
I'm
that's what I'm thinking. Like, what if nobody turns up? Like they booked this hotel for a party as well. Like
yeah.
nobody turns up.
No,
I'll be gutted.
don't say it.
I'd be gutted to run the whole length of Africa and nobody turns up.
Imagine. Oh no,
Disappointing.
it's actually giving me fear just thinking about that.
And I'm sure like he won't be thinking about like has raised a lot of money, and like it's an achievement. But yeah, it's just crazy. The fact there's only 18 days left is mental.
No, it's over a year
Um,
he's been running for. Well, about a year, I
yeah,
think, around to this day. Just
yes,
mental. Absolutely mental. And that pretty much wraps up the podcast. Um,
yeah,
yeah, we shall be back in a couple of weeks or so. But enjoy the weekend of sport coming up, and yeah,
yeah.
we'll catch you again in a bit.
Have a good Easter.